Hi, I'm Robert O'Brien from O'Brien Guitars. Every time I get an interesting instrument into my shop, I like to turn the camera on and talk about it. This is what's known as a viola caipira. This is a Portuguese instrument that was introduced into Brazil when the Portuguese went down there to Brazil. And this is what is evolved into in the modern day viola caipira, a very, very popular instrument all over in all regions of Brazil. This instrument came to me from Brazil via New Jersey. Somebody in New Jersey purchased it from a Brazilian maker, and when it got to New Jersey, it had a little damage to it in the shipping, so it was shipped to me, and I'm repairing the instrument. But I thought I'd give you a little bit of history on the viola caipira. Like I said, it's a very famous, very popular instrument in Brazil, used in folklore music, or I guess you could say similar to country music here in the States. It has 10 strings. And the first two pairs are in unison and the rest of them are in octaves. And it's interesting to note that there's all different types of tunings for this instrument, but two of them have become very popular in Brazil. One of them is known as cebolão. Cebolão, the translation means a big onion. And the story goes that the people that played using this type of tuning, as they played, the women would cry. And it was just like the women were cutting big onions. And so there you go. That's how that tuning evolved. That was usually in E or D, and some people do D sharp. So if you were using the cebolão in D tuning, the first two strings would be in D, then the next set of strings would be in A, the third set of strings would be in F sharp, the fourth would be in D, and then the fifth would be in A again. The other type of tuning was called Rio Abaixo. Now, Rio Abaixo actually translates to mean down the river. And the story goes is the devil would go down the river playing in G. He tuned his instrument to G, and it would seduce the women, and they would follow the devil down the river. The story goes that the people that play in that tuning, in the key of G, they've basically sold their souls to the devil. So it's very similar to our story here in the States of Robert Johnson going down to the crossroads and selling his soul to become a better player. In the northeast portion of Brazil, they have what's known as Viola duels. So if you have declared yourself to be the best viola player in the region, and somebody comes along and challenges you, well, then it's game on. And I guess that's kind of similar to our dueling banjos here in the United States. But very popular instrument. The interesting thing about this instrument is that it has these wavy frets on some of the frets. And the reason for that is they actually like to tune a couple of these strings a little lower. And so to try and even out the intonation of the tuning, this particular builder has come up with this design of the frets to help it play a little bit more in tune. So when this instrument arrived in New Jersey, it had been damaged. There was a big crack in the top, had been dropped apparently in the case. The binding had come undone, and there was a little internal damage and finish damage. So I've repaired all of that. The back and sides appear to be maple, very popular wood for this instrument, or a similar wood, some type of wood, maybe it's maple. Ebony fretboard, I don't know a lot about the neck, it's probably some type of mahogany, but very interesting instrument. Peg head, as of course 5 tuners on each side for the double course strings there. I do not play this instrument. This was made by the Bonatti brothers. They're very famous luthiers in Brazil for this particular instrument. And Leandro Valentin is a very good player of this instrument, and so I thought I'd use some of his footage with his permission to let you hear what this instrument sounds like and what kind of music was played on it. So I hope you enjoy it. Happy building.
you.